smile and a vibe that just won't stop. When the going gets rough, he's super tough with a Hong Kong Phooey chop. Yeah! Hong Kong Phooey, #1 super guy. Hong Kong Phooey, quicker than the human eye. Tick-a-chong, 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 wow, wow, wow. Hong Kong Phooey, terrific!
Hi, I'm Fury, and this is our guide to airsoft shopping in Hong Kong. We're starting right at the start. We're wholesale, which is why we're here at 18 War Game. This is a wholesaler that provides a lot of local shops. The reason why Hong Kong airsoft is massive is because Hong Kong is a free port, so there's no import or export duties. It's the gateway to China, and for that reason, just everything manufacturing-wise really flows through here. A lot of stuff used to be manufactured here, but now it's more about import-export in Hong Kong, and that's why virtually all of your airsoft kit is probably going through Hong Kong, whether it be going all the way out to the US or the UK. Yeah, it's probably been through these hallowed halls at some point. What do you reckon, Rich? Are we in heaven? We were quite lucky to be let in here. It's normally off limits to regular skirmishers, and the only people that come here are the Hong Kong shops. They don't even sell to overseas shops because they can't be bothered with the hassle. Some of the stuff is cheap rubbish, like I got a molly rig with the bands weren't even molly spaced. Some of it's really nice though, like really cheap SHS gears and stuff, but it's pretty much all China made stuff in here. A lot of clone stuff. Heading back to our map, our wholesaler is up here in Kowloon, and in the north end of Kowloon, which is Lai Chi Kok. Now this area used to be nothing much to say really, airsoft wise, but Redwolf have their headquarters up here, so let's swing by and say hello to our buddies there. So this is the Redwolf Airsoft's showroom. It's kind of more like a museum. They've got some really cool kit in here. Redwolf are one of the old school retailers. In fact, the first event I went to in 1997 was sponsored by Redwolf, and that was just when they were establishing their kind of UK presence. Yeah, these guys they've been around for donkey's years. They support a lot of events. They do the very well-known series, which they're just filming over here for the moment.
Right, what else did you need to do?
I did, no, I'm just about to set up actually.
Just about to set up?
I just set up for another cutaway.
Okay.
Because I took it off the dolly.
And you took it off the dolly. Oh, hey guys, welcome to Redwolf. Apparently there's an interview happening, so bring it on, Matt. Bring it on.
Yeah. Hi Tim. Thanks for your time. Tim is a very well-known face in the airsoft world. We've got exclusive interview time with him here today. So, the big questions. Tim, what did you have for lunch?
What did I have? I actually went to a BBQ Korean place just around the corner from here. Oh. I usually get takeaway, and because I usually just sit at the computer looking up stuff while I'm eating.
I think that about covers it.
Okay, great. Great, thanks a lot, man.
The other point of interest in Lai Chi Kok is what's starting to be called the Gun Mall. And this is the Lai Sun Shopping Arcade, aka Gun Mall. All the shops are moving up here, and this is where it's all happening right now in Hong Kong. So this is inside Gun Mall. This is the new shop, Hero Arms, which has just moved up here. E-Hobby was the first people to move up here into what we're now calling Gun Mall, and traditionally all the shops, all the airsoft shops have been clustered down in Kong Wah Street, which is known as Gun Street. The rental prices have started to creep up there, and it's starting to become not very viable to have a store down there, so Gun Mall is becoming more and more attractive. We've got Hero Arms here, E-Hobby's down in the basement. There's another gun store across the road, and there's a Cop 9 gun just across from us. Although all the locals, when you mention Cop 9 gun, they kind of go, Cop 9 gun, I bloody hate Cop 9 gun, which I don't really understand, but there you go. I'm just a foreigner. The big defining feature with Hong Kong is, for shopping wise, I've found, is clustering. So instead of having like shoe shops all over town, there's an area of town where you go to buy shoes, where all the shoe shops are. And that's exactly the case with guns. You want to buy some guns, you go to Kong La Street. So I think the clustering thing, if they all get pushed out of Kong La Street, lots of people are telling me they're going to start clustering up here in Gun Mall. eHobby Asia's in the basement of Gun Mall. It's my favourite store to wander around in Hong Kong. It's got loads of kit, so let's go and have a look inside.
Hello, we are eHobby.
If you're in Hong Kong, you should definitely come into eHobby. It's a really represented store. They've got really, really good stock, and you've probably already heard of them. If you're a British player, the big stores that we all order from are like WGC, Redwolf, eHobby, and RSOV. And if you've not ordered from Hong Kong before, you might be a bit trepidatious about the idea of ordering from overseas. You might think like, well, you know, Hong Kong, it's the other side of the world. Do I really want to send them my money? Can I trust them? But if you look around you, you see that it's, you know, an entirely professional organisation. They've got really great stock. People around them are pretty sound, and the prices compared to the UK, even when you take into account what it's going to cost you on import duties and shipping, still very favourable. So if you're thinking about Hong Kong, then yeah, have a look on eHobby's website and give it some thought. Excuse me, have you got that in a bigger size? Oh, sorry. So the difference with eHobby to most of the stores is that you don't just walk up to the counter with your item and pay for it. It's more of a kind of a display area in the actual shop. So what you do is you use their computers, use their regular website, write down your number on one of these sheets of paper, or get a number from one of the items out there, and take that up to the counter, and then they find the items you stock and give it to you. Only problem for me is they shout out your number in Cantonese, so I give them a piece of paper, wander around for like an hour before I realise they called my number like 45 minutes ago. Oops. With the shift of the retailers coming up to Gun Mall away from Gun Street, that means a lot more airsofters around the area of Lai Chi Kok, and our friend Tim was a little disconcerted because he's a proper pucker airsoft celebrity and he's going to get bugged by airsoft players a lot whenever he goes for lunch. Oh, okay, let's not talk about Tim's lunch again, ever. There's also another new store just outside of Gun Mall, that's Gun Heaven.
Oh, here is Gun Heaven. Welcome.
So that leaves us with about enough time to order some tasty noodles in our best Cantonese. Remember to like and subscribe. Next episode, tune in because we're going to go visit Konghua Street, which is the greatest airsoft and tactical shopping area in the world, bar none. The interesting thing about e-hobby is you don't just walk into the store.
A 馬室請到我看下，A 馬室
So they,
關山，請到我看下。